Hey guys, how the hell are you? Welcome back once again to an all new episode of Arnold Drinks. My name is Arnold, and tonight I drink. So, first of all, thank you so much to Mr. Eric Dust for bringing me this brew. This is always an experience whenever I get to try something new from Weldwerks, because I don't exactly live too close to them. It's a little difficult sometimes for me to actually get their brews, but thank you, Eric, for helping a brother out and supplying this for me. This is Coconut Symposium, an English-style desserty barley wine from Weldwerks Brewing out of Greeley, Colorado. Curiously enough, there doesn't seem to be an alcohol by volume listed on the label, which I didn't think was necessarily allowed, but this is, after doing research, this is a 14.6%er. It says right here on the label, English-style barley wine aged in 5 to 7 year old bourbon barrels for 25 months, then conditioned on raw and toasted coconut. So, read between the lines, this should be something that has big boozy notes, has big desserty notes, but that's just conjecture. Let's dive in. One thing I'm going to point out right away, when you first pour this into your glass, there's a lot of little floaties that are there in the glass. Fear not, because one can take one look at that and realize that's just coconut. Perfectly edible, nothing to be concerned about. Right from the moment you open this bottle, a bit of that coconut note starts to kind of waft in the breeze a little bit. Holding it up to your nose, big, bold coconut, bit of molasses, something very, very sugary sweet there. Not getting a very boozy note, despite the fact that this was aged in bourbon barrels for a healthy amount of time. Not really catching that on the aroma. Also not really getting anything like subtly sour or anything like that, like you would normally expect from an English-style barley wine. There's always like a little kind of soury funk that I usually associate with this style, but that is not to be found at all. Just desserty sweetness. Oh, it smells so good. Well, let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. All of the notes that I mentioned on the aroma are there in a big way in the palate. We've got big heaps of brown sugar, molasses. The coconut note, you can tell, is more of like a toasted or smoked coconut. It just has a certain, what's the word I want to say, like a sort of roastiness to it that is slightly subdued, but you can definitely tell it's there. The booziness comes through on the finish more than anything else I'm noticing. Let me go back in. Oh man, just all coconut and sweet molasses and brown sugar on the forefront. A lot of caramel note in there too. That's right in the front of the palate. And then once it kind of gets past your cheek, the sort of smokiness of the coconut comes through a lot thicker, a lot heavier. Definitely a good body on this beer too. It's not like a massive body for the beer, which is surprising given that it's a 14.6%er. But yeah, there's a decent body to this. It's not overpowering. It's not anything that's going to dissuade you from wanting to complete this beer. It's just really yummy, really delicious. Once it gets to the back of the throat, once it gets to the finish, that's when the booziness comes out to play. You get a very bourbon whiskey-ish kind of note that's lingering there in the back of the throat. Let's go back in. This might be just my mind playing tricks on me a little bit too, but I'm also getting something with that smoked coconut note. It's really reminding me of a local company down here. There's a company down here called Rock Sound Rum that does a smoked coconut rum that is to die for. Like, I am not a rum fan, really, to be honest with you, but that thing is one of those bottles that I would bring home and I would kill it off because it's just so tasty. And there's definitely something similar to that in this beer. Just rich, smoked and toasted coconut notes, big and bold sugary sweetness, a nice booziness that's understated at the front of the mouth until it gets a place to shine in the finish. This is just a more than solid brew. This is gonna get a really good score from me on Untapped, and yeah, I'm thrilled. This was fantastic. I need more Weldwerks beers in my life because that is awesome. So thank you guys so very much for tuning in. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to this channel. Tons more of this content to come. And as always, remember, take what you do seriously. Do not take yourselves too seriously.